Yes, yes, yes. Edmund the General, also known as the Brand, coming at you again. Now, this may be old news to many, but this, of course, will be new to a few. Now, I'm from Canada, Toronto, Canada, and around these parts, rent is expensive, food is expensive. The way of living can be expensive depending where you're at financially. Really expensive. I just spoke to a guy yesterday. He came straight from Uganda. This man has been here for 7 months. You know what he told me? So it's my first time meeting him. So I buck up on him. We work at a spot, and I go, because he's new to me, right? So I go, yo, what's good, man? He goes, yeah, everything's cool. So I'm like, are you new here? Like, you look familiar. Are you new here? He goes, yeah, I just came from Uganda. So I go, how long you been here for? He says 7 months. So then I go, how do you feel about it? He goes, expensive. I'm like, expensive? He goes, yeah. He says, back home, everything is a lot cheaper, but there's not that many jobs. That's why he came over here, because he heard that there was an opportunity over here to make a lot more money. Whoever told him that failed to let him know, yeah, you could make a lot more money over here, but the cost of living is extremely high. Now, you can get a 2-bedroom apartment for a quick 3-4 grand. That's Canadian dollars. When you exchange that to American, oh my goodness, what is it gonna be, like $1.50 per dollar? Could be, yeah, I think it's gotta be like around there. It could be, yeah, it's gotta be like, anyways, whatever the amount is, it's gonna double. Right? Now, he's not the only person. I spoke to someone else, and they were telling me that they weren't getting enough hours, and they're living in an apartment that they gotta pay for what, like $1,200? Yeah, $1,200 per month. Now, that to me is dirt cheap. That just goes to explain exactly how my life of living really is. Because if I'm looking at that as dirt cheap and other people are looking at that as expensive, then yeah, I'm probably talking too much. So I better say less. So I always found that running a business, being your own boss, is the actual way to go. Mainly because first, there's no ceiling as to how much you can make. You can go as far as your eyes could see. Sky's the limit, right? But doing like a 9 to 5, there's some form of security there, whereas based off of the hours that you get, whether it's a contract or not, you know what the outcome will be every week, 2 weeks, whatever your agreement is, right? Now, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announces Canada will be given $10 million in humanitarian aid to help Isreal in Gaza. Now, home has not been taken care of. I just mentioned 2 people, and I've spoken to many of people who are going through some real issues. And then when you go online in certain sectors or certain sections of the world of the internet, you hear other stories. You hear horror stories, issues. People are going homeless. People are not able to pay rent. There was recently a strike going on in a few spots where they're refusing to pay rent because it's going high. You see the homeless downtown. There are people who are homeless who are deliberately homeless because they don't want to be confined to a place where they gotta pay and blah blah blah. Everybody has their own reasons as to why. But homeless people are out there. And it's coming to a point where a lot of these people are even resorting to even living with their mama or pappy, but mostly their moms. Mostly that. Now, I don't really see anything wrong with that, especially if you're under the age of 26, probably even under the age of 30. In my mind, if I ever hear somebody who's living with their parents or at that age with their parents, their mom, dad, whatever, I'm assuming that because they're working, I'm thinking now they're working, they're just stacking bread, they're making a lot of money, they're saving a lot, they're not really spending a lot because there's no reason to. if I was, forget it. All I'm saying is you should be stacking that bread. Now, if Justin Trudeau, and this isn't the only time that I've seen Canada send money out to another country, billions of dollars over there, in the Ukraine, in Haiti, in Cuba, like all over the place. Why isn't home taken care of? Why isn't the Canadian citizens being taken care of? I'm not even looking at a form of welfare. Because even welfare, from what I understand, after I did a little research on that, if you're like a single person, especially if you're a male, because they pretty much judge by the sex. If you're a single male, you're making what, like over, what did they say? I think it's like a few $100s a month. But if you're a woman, and especially if you're like a battered woman, there's many options out there, and also you get like a bigger amount. I think it's like over a G or something like that. It's not fair, but that's the system. The system is programmed to, well, you should pretty much get the picture. So if Justin Trudeau, which isn't necessarily the guy behind it all, because again, you have to remember, and this will be going down a rabbit hole, I'm not going to get too much into it. He's not the actual person behind this. Remember, he has to answer to the Queen, and the Queen is the one that's in charge of a lot of countries out there. But there's some people who are higher than her that delegates to her what exactly needs to be done. That's a different rabbit hole to go down to. So, if home isn't being taken care of, but for some strange reason, Canada has all this money reserved to send it off to other countries to take care of them. What's up with that? What's up with that? Canadian citizens are speaking about this amongst themselves, but obviously no action is being taken place towards the government. What kind of action am I talking about? I don't know. I'm not going to answer that. Use your imagination. All I'm saying is this. I feel bad for what's happening out there in Israel. That the issues that they've been going on for centuries. And at the same time, I know how it is over here by talking to many people who are going through it. And it's clear to me that Canada is in deep trouble right now. We need the help more than ever. Monthly payments, could it be weekly, bi-weekly? I don't know. They need to remove all these debts. That needs to be reset. Feed the people so that there could be enough so that everyone could live in a balanced lifestyle. Screw the taxes. I'm done. I'm the general. I'm out. Peace.